Hey there, I'm Amy Connell, and welcome to Graced Health and a bonus episode. I'm not even going to do the whole spiel that you probably have memorized by now. I wanted to come in very quickly and first thank you for filling out the survey that I have been asking just for feedback on. This is strictly, honestly, mostly for you. That way I can know what is resonating, what you want more of, and really help guide my strategic planning throughout the rest of 2023 and into 24. I thought I would take just a couple minutes and let you know what the results are, mostly because I want you to know that I have read every single comment. I have seen every bit of data that has come through, and I'm so grateful for the time that it takes. I know I have a hard time doing surveys when they come through. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's my local grocery store asking for a 3-minute survey on the curbside, or if it is over, my at Athleta, which is one of my favorite online retailers. And I'm like, I don't want to do a survey. So I know that it's really hard to do them sometimes. And I said, just want to thank you. I'm just going to go through, there were 6 questions that, many of them had data points. Some of them was a little bit more, open-ended. And I just wanted to share the results with you because I think you deserve to know. So the first episode, or the first question was, what kind of episodes do you enjoy listening to most? And these were the options. Fitness and physical health was one, nutrition, faith-based, body image, women's health, and all of the above. Let me tell you, I hear you. Overwhelmingly, the results were nutrition at 84%, as well as women's health. I had equal interest in physical health and faith-based, and then body image was down at 38%. So physical health and faith-based both came in at 53%. Now, if you're doing numbers in your head, this was one of those questions where you could list more than one. So obviously, these numbers don't add up to more than, or they don't add up strictly to 100%. A couple of you said, hey, all of them are great. And then someone else made a really great point, and I'm really appreciative of this, about kind of narrowing down. So, for example, what do we do when we have rising cholesterol, and how can we manage that, particularly from an intuitive eating perspective, was this particular response. So, how to approach fitness and nutrition regarding heart disease, high cholesterol. So that I hear, and I love that idea. So I will be looking for someone to talk with me about not only rising cholesterol, also diabetes, because if it's not impacting you, it may be impacting someone else. And so I think I'm going to start exploring specific physical challenges and how to manage that. So if you have suggestions, the very best place that you can go to offer that is on the Graced Health Community Facebook group. The link is in the show notes and it's free to join. So if you're like, oh yeah, well, I have whatever issue, let's talk specifically about that, then that's a great, I want to hear you. I want to hear that, and go over to the Facebook group to let me know. The second question said, would you be interested in a subscription type level of support? Choose which ones you may participate in. And I did kind of give the caveat, these are working and fluid ideas right now. Now, let me give you a little bit of background of what's driving that question. First of all, I have realized over the last year coming out of COVID, how important community is, how important it is for me to connect with other people, whether it is in person or online. I prefer in person, but when you are in an environment like this, and thanks to technology, we don't always have to be face to face, or side by side on the streets to connect. So this is one of the things that I have been trying to explore and consider, is how can we create more connection among other like-minded women. We're not all going to be the same, but other women who are in our age group, who share the same faith that we do, who are searching for the same things from a holistic health perspective. And so listeners, what do we call it? Like a subscription type level of support, I feel like is the next right step for that. So from the survey, 42% said that they would be interested in what I called a level 1 level of support. So $6 to $7 a month, including Zoom coffee meetups and maybe short workout or movement videos emailed straight to you. I know it's kind of like I can say, oh, I've got all kinds of things on YouTube. And then it's like, wait a minute, I don't really want to do that. And then the shelf life on Facebook and Instagram is so small that if you don't catch something when it comes out, like I get it. There's just so much out there. So that was the level 1. Level 2 was more like $15-ish a month. That included level 1 plus a live Be Complete. Level 3 included that plus like monthly group Q&A or coaching calls. And then another option was, I'm not interested in this right now. So 42% said, yeah, hey, let's think about a level 1. I got 17% on level 2, which is level 1 plus Be Complete. No one said level 3, and 50% said, I'm not interested in this right now. And that's understandable. Like, I certainly don't expect a wide breadth of support, financial support, and as well as connection and communicative support from everybody. I have plenty of podcasters I really enjoy, and I don't support them. There are definitely some I do. So I understand that, and I don't expect everyone to say, oh yeah, I'm all in. But for those who might be looking for a little bit more, I wanted to have a space for that. So Buzzsprout is my podcast hosting provider. They have rolled something out, and I love it because I kind of feel like it's this God's timing thing that'll make it fairly easy. And I have some ideas that I'm working on with that. So that you will hear more about that in the coming months. I'm not ready to implement it yet because I do tend to think through things and make sure that they are realistic and sustainable for me going forward. I'm not one who will I'm an Enneagram 9. If you're a 7, you just like to jump in things and try them. And then, okay, if it doesn't work, that's fine. We'll just go on somewhere else. And that's great. And I'm happy for you for that. But that's just not how I work. So I have to kind of think about things. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I need to make sure that it works for me. So you will hear more about that. I'm really excited. I think God's given me some different ways to connect with you in that way. And just be on the lookout. So you'll hear more. You'll hear more. The third question was, what else would you like in a subscription program? Okay. So I received a few responses back on that. So this is an open-ended one. Someone said discounts on certain products or services that you recommend. This is something I have been thinking about doing, where I have all of the products and services that I recommend all on one site on my website. So what's holding me back on that? I'm a one-woman show, and it's just time and bandwidth and sitting down and putting all of that together. It's also a great reminder for me to ask any of my guests who are coming on with programs, with products, with services, hey, can you offer a discount? So I'm really glad that you brought that up. These are all anonymous. I don't know who did it, but that's a good reminder for me. And in fact, as I am saying this, I would probably start putting that on my podcast intake form, my guest intake form. So that's a great suggestion. I love that. Someone said the workout and movement videos and live classes are great. And then someone suggested a very robust thing, which I would love to do. And I don't think it is right for me right now. Ideally, yeah. I mean, this is what this person said, healthy recipes with nutritional information, library with links to show notes and information mentioned in the podcast, but searchable by topic, which, by the way, I'm working on that. I do have a third-party provider on my podcast page, and I'm trying to figure out if that is something that should be out there and that should be available. I've done a lot of back-end work on my website, and some of it translated well, and some of it was lost in translation. We'll just say that. So that I agree. I would really like to be able to do that. By the way, on Apple Podcasts, you can go to just in the search on like on the main Apple podcast, if you listen, and I know a lot of you do, you can say Graced Health Menopause, and it'll bring up all of the topics that we have covered with menopause. Or if there is a particular guest that you heard, then you can say Graced Health and then Sue Hitzman or Alexis Overstreet or any of these other guests that we have had recently, or any time really, you can do that. So there was a little bit of a workaround with that. Anyway, so that was that. Okay. And then I said, if I were to develop an online course, which of the following would you be interested in purchasing? The options were Bad Knees, Good Workouts, specifically designed for women with cranky knees. And then Aging Strong, specifically designed for women who want to prevent or slow bone-related health like osteopenia and osteoporosis. 36% said Bad Knees, Good Workouts. 82% said Aging Strong. I have to admit, I've had a huge focus lately on aging strong and preventing or slowing bone-related health issues. So this is something I will probably look into, and I'm trying to figure out how robust of a program I want to make it, which translates to how much value and how much content you get. So I have never created an online course, but I think now is the time to do that. Realistically speaking, anything like that would be fall at the very earliest. It might be early 2024 when something like that came out. Someone did suggest pelvic floor exercises, and that I will 100% say, if you are wanting pelvic floor exercises, go to Tighten Your Tinkler. That is and get them. There's no way I could provide anything more comprehensive or thorough than what they do. And they do offer a discount of $50 with the code Graced Health. So you can do that. The link is in the show notes. But if you're wanting pelvic floor, I would go to them. Totally go to them. And then someone else said a strength training workout with levels based on an ability to progress after an injury of not working out. I totally get that. So I think that would be other Aging Strong. And if you need more than that, I would suggest working with a physical therapist. Sometimes physical therapists are also personal trainers. My local people, I will refer to Ted Cargbo, just because I think he's very like-minded with me in terms of mindset and all of that. Okay, what else would you like me to focus on? I heard some great feedback on that. Continue strengthen exercises and spurring us on to consistency. This one I appreciated. I love your podcast and your faith-based approach. Women our age are looking for workouts we can do without hurting ourselves or making pain we have already worse. So again, that's kind of going back up to that Aging Strong, which is a to be determined name, by the way. Also some nice words about the guests and the podcast and the recipes and all of that. The podcast link. So this is funny. This person said, I like the podcast link. Someone else later said, I wish it was a little bit shorter. So I would like it if it was a little bit shorter. I'm working on that. I'm just saying I'm working on that. Clearly, I'm also a little long-winded. So it's kind of hard. And I always have so many questions. It's really hard to get off with these guests. They're so fantastic. YouTube. Yes. Someone also said YouTube workouts would be great. I am really working on my YouTube presence and will try to add some quick workouts in, on YouTube at some point. I'll just say that. How do we fit in time and all of our work responsibilities, workouts, feeding yourself? Yeah, that can be hard as well. So that's a really good one. Someone said an episode on hemorrhoids, common but not talked about. Absolutely. That's a great suggestion. I will work on that as well and try and find someone to come talk about that kind of thing. And then also this is going back up to the question, or this is similar to one of the other responses, but love to hear about how to prevent or reduce impact of different illnesses like cancer and stroke and heart disease and all of that. So those are definitely more specific conversations that I think are, it is time we have those on here, and I appreciate that. Okay. And then I just said, what else? Here's your chance for anonymous feedback. I got some really nice responses too. I won't read all of them. I had a nice gentle reminder to keep the Bible verses and spiritual encouragement coming. And I am definitely trying to do that. As you know, I hope you know, as I mentioned on the statement of values, some of my guests are other Jesus followers and some are not. And I'm okay with that because I feel like they bring knowledge and wisdom in other areas. So I do try to have at least one really strong faith-based conversation a month, or out of the 3 guests. And I try and incorporate that. But I'm also hearing you. Like it's just hard. Like sometimes it's really hard to find a full, I don't want to say what is it a trifecta, like faith and expertise and having I'm not going to invite someone to come on here who's just totally overzealous about whatever it is. We'll just say that. Like I need to make sure that if I'm inviting them into our little safe graced corner, that they too have a mindset of grace in one way or another. And then just some really nice, some things. I mean, someone said, hey, your podcast is in my top 5, my number 1 listened to on Spotify. And that makes me really happy. So I'm glad that this is filling a need. Someone else said that wish the episodes were shorter. And like I said, trying to do that. So I just wanted to I wanted to kind of close the loop on all of that. Thank you for the time that you have taken. And I am keeping this open. So if you would like to go, and if you're like, wait, this is nothing like what I think, then this is your chance to tell me. So I can't know if you don't tell me. This is like, relationship 101, right? So if you want to add to any of that, this is still open and I would still love to hear it. And I get a little email whenever someone responds, and it makes me really happy to get on there and read it regardless of what it says. Okay, so I'm going to let you all go with that, and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening in, and as always, have a grace day.